we're talking about what's happening in the 731 on the Hub City Now with your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr.
Hello and welcome to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr. And on today we have Tierra Thaxton with Treasure's Love Bears. Treasure Love Bears is an uplifting mission which provides sick children in the hospital and children in need with the unconditional love of a teddy bear. And we're glad to have Ms. Thaxton here with us today. I'll call you Tierra because you always tell me to. But we're glad to have you here today with us.
I am so honored to be here with you.
Thank you. We're going to just begin on how Treasure's Love Bears began. Can you take me through, for those who may not know the story, she has a daughter named Treasure who just turned 13 years old. Her little baby just turned 13 years old. But tell us your story. Tell us the story.
Well, my husband, Greg, and I, we were infertile for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And one day I was looking through the baby book and I saw the name Treasure. Mm-hmm. And I said, Lord, if you bless us with a baby, we will name our first baby Treasure. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad it was a girl. And Treasure was born really premature. She was born at 27 weeks gestation. So she's almost 3 months early. Mm-hmm. And she had a lot of medical issues, as most preemies do. And so during that time frame, many people brought different stuffed animals and left them in the room with her or gave them to us.
And how many hospitals was she in during that time?
Well, she was born at Jackson General Hospital, and later she was transported by helicopter to Lebanon. Okay. So she was a sickly little baby.
How long was she in the hospital during that time?
Well, the first time she was in there approximately 44 days at Jackson General. Mm-hmm. And then later when she got sick, she was about 5 months old. And so she spent that time about 40-something days at Lebanon Children's Hospital in Memphis.
Mm-hmm. And for those at home, here's just some of the things that Treasure, when she was during that time, went through. She was on the ventilation for 30 days. Is that correct?
Yes. The first time she was on there for several weeks. Mm-hmm. And then when she was at Lebanon, she was on the ventilator for 30 days.
And then other problems started happening. She had a, chronic lung disease?
Yes, because she was so premature, her lungs were underdeveloped, and she developed chronic lung disease.
2 holes in her heart.
Yes.
Fluid on her brain.
Yes.
Loss of hearing in her right ear.
Yes.
And you might have to say it for me, subglottic
stenosis. So after being on the ventilator for 30 days, her esophagus kind of molded around that tube, and it narrowed her windpipe area.
Mm. And I'm sure you and your husband began praying for her. And well, how was that for you? I mean, this was your first child,
This
correct?
is our first. We learned to pray. Mm-hmm. We learned to pray for things that we had no idea we were praying for. Right. But we just believed God. You know, it was our first child, and after being infertile for so long, we knew that it was going to take prayer to bring us out of such a scary situation.
Right. And I heard you earlier talking about the trach. Tell our audience about that incident.
All right. The doctors during that time, because she had been on the ventilator for so long, felt that she needed a trach. And we had spent a lot of time in the chapel at Lebanon, and so our faith was strong. And we told the doctor that night that it would not be necessary because we believed that the Lord was going to heal our baby. Right. And so I went to the chapel and laid on the floor, and I just began to pray to God. And I said, Lord, he said he was going to give Treasure 3 chances to wean off the ventilator. Mm-hmm. And I told the Lord, I said, all you need is 1 chance.
That's right.
And that was on Tuesday, and he told us that he would give her to Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. And I had a vision on that Friday night of how to pray for her. So my husband and I got up early Saturday and prayed for it, anointed her with oil, and the doctors made their rounds. And he looked at me with this stern look, like we're going to take her straight into surgery and trach her.
So he was just defiant. He wanted to do. He's like, it's going to be done.
Yes,
this is going to happen.
Yes, and we saw a miracle. We were able to witness a miracle after they removed the instrument out of her throat.
Mm-hmm.
She started breathing on her own.
Wow.
And has been healthy ever since that day.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I mean, just how was that for you all? I mean, that had to be a struggle.
It was very difficult.
And how did you all, I mean, outside of prayer, what else, I mean, who else, were there any other people who were with you all or helped you out during that time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We were a part of Greater Visions Church during that time.
And where is that?
That's located at 325 North Rural Street.
Okay.
The pastor is Eric Price. He and his family and our congregation at that time, they fasted and prayed and made sure that we had everything that we needed. Her godparents, Brandy and Steve McKinney, were very instrumental in them taking care of us and making sure we had what we needed because we were in the midst of a horrific storm.
Right.
Mentally and physically just worrying and yet praying and trying to have faith.
Right.
Because it's not easy when you have a child that's so sickly.
Right.
And being new parents, your spirit fluctuates. So some days you're on a high and then some days you've hit rock bottom. And so we've had several friends and our families, members that just supported us and prayed for Treasure, and so I can't just start naming people because you forget people.
Right.
And but we've had a lot of friends. We had friends that just took care of our home. There was another church in Jackson, the church that we attend now is Straightway Apostolic Faith Church. The bishop is Richard Rogers. Okay. He and his congregation stepped in. Youth Town of Tennessee staff, they stepped in and just took care of us. My husband's boss at the time was Nick Pappas. They made sure we had everything that we needed. There was nothing that we had to worry about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so from that miracle, from Treasure being healed, and now when we come back, we're going to talk about Treasure's Love Bears. These little guys that are bringing love, unconditional love, to sick children in hospitals. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
In a world obsessed with throwing shade and putting others down, there's a college boldly committed to doing the exact opposite. A college that understands you are not defined by your yesterdays, where dreams are rekindled and hope restored. A place of new beginnings, transformation, and honor. Where a Christian liberal arts education is more than a piece of paper. It's where you start your story all over again. Start your story and discover the new Lane College.
You depend on your tires. Let R&R Tire Express keep you on the road and safe with a complete set of new tires from the brands you trust, starting as low as $16 per week with our pay-as-you-go program. Choose easy payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and at R&R, complete installation with lifetime rotating balance, flat repair, and 12 months 24-hour roadside assistance is absolutely free. Only at R&R Tire Express.
As a former NFL football player, I never thought I would let this happen to me. I knew I had to do something. Thanks to VIP's weight loss and testosterone programs, I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel better, I look better, and live a healthier life.
to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., and we're here today with Tierra Thaxton with Treasures Love Bears. As we were saying before, Treasures Love Bears is an uplifting mission that's with the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation here in Jackson, Tennessee, which provides sick children in the local hospital and children in need with the unconditional love of this little guy right here, a teddy bear. And how long has Treasures Love Bears been going on now?
We just celebrated 11 years with Treasures Love Bears. Yes, yes.
And to take me back to that first day, how old was Treasure? Take me back to that first year. How old was Treasure? What did you all do? What hospital?
She was 2 years old.
Okay.
She had just gone through her first heart surgery to close the two holes in her heart.
Okay.
And so as a way to pay it forward, we took Treasure back with enough bears to cover the ICU area that she had spent such a long time in.
Right.
And we distributed those stuffed animals in that area.
Okay.
And so what
What was the response to something like that from the children and their parents?
Well, a lot of them, of course, are really sick and in that area. And we did it because strangers kept leaving bears on her bed.
Okay.
Or giving them to the nurse for us. And so as a way to pay it forward, we took her back so that they could see how well she was doing at 2 years old.
Right.
And it just birthed from there.
And so how many bears have you all given out so far?
Well, so far we've given approximately 750 bears.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. I saw that not too long ago, Treasure had a reunion with one of the patients that she gave a bear to.
Yes.
And now that young woman is becoming a nurse, or is a nurse.
She's a nurse
She's
now.
a nurse right now.
Yes.
And she said she was motivated by your daughter's outpouring of love that way. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it was a tear-jerking moment. We were in the hospital. Treasure was delivering bears, and all of a sudden Alexis ran down the hall and asking for us. And so we were kind of hesitant to say something, you know. We thought something had happened in one of the rooms.
Right.
And she said, when I was 13 years old, Treasure gave me a teddy bear. And she was 21.
Wow.
She was she was a student, a nursing student.
Okay.
And in that moment, the media that was there, we were all crying. It was such a grand reunion.
Right.
And she said, Treasure's the reason I became a nurse. So that just sealed the deal. Yeah.
Just last year, Mayor Jerry Gist here in Jackson, Tennessee, made a proclamation that March 3rd, 2015 was Treasure Thaxton Day because of the work that she's done through Treasures Love Bears, passing out the teddy bears to those kids. How many hospitals do you all currently pass bears out at now?
Right now, we're only at 2. We're at Jackson General and Labana Children's Hospital in Memphis.
Is there a vision or a plan to expand to more?
Yes, it's our goal to go to St. Jude and also Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So it's on the list.
Okay. And you all just recently had an event back in April, at the end of April. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, Treasures Love Bears was the host for Star Wars Night at the Jackson General's Park, and we had a wonderful time setting up our display. And so her story was aired that night on their big screen, and it was just wonderful. There was a lot of support from the community.
And I not just that, but they also had jerseys with the Star Wars logos, and they had Treasures Love Bear logo on the jersey. So
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. And I think Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader were dueling on the front of it. But that's awesome. Why do you all do this?
It's just God has been so good to us, and we remember those nights of just all those different emotions, the roller coaster experience, you know, up and down, and we have to pay it forward. It's so that Treasure can remember how far the Lord has brought her from. And so she loves giving back, and we also started a few years ago of taking another one of her friends or someone from the community with us to the hospital. So hopefully it will birth their community service heart, to give back. That's why we do it.
Right.
It's just a blessing. It's, you think that a teddy bear is the unconditional friend of anybody, and so we thought it's the sweetest thing that we can do. Just every bear, as we're saying, thank you, Lord, for healing our baby. And because he's no respecter person, we just believe that when they receive a bear or someone else's kindness, that it's a healing process.
Right. And you are healing them by giving them something they can hold on to when they're going into surgeries, or when they're just alone at night by themselves, or just somebody just to feel safe, or squeeze when they're getting blood drawn or anything like
Absolutely.
that. That's awesome. And you and your husband are already have been working in the community so much. You used to be a county commissioner in Henderson, Tennessee, right?
Yes.
And your husband works at Youthtown. Is that correct?
Yeah, he loves Youthtown.
and you're also helping souls, bringing people to God. Tell me about that.
And this past January, we have taken over a ministry in McKenzie, Straightway Apostolic Faith Church, located on Highway 22 North. We love it, and the Lord is blessing at that church, and people's lives are being changed and healed. So we have that double calling on our lives.
Right.
It's fun.
Right.
We had an event last year.
Okay.
They had Baby Fest down at the fairgrounds, and they had their first teddy bear clinic.
What's the teddy bear clinic?
The teddy bear clinic. It's awesome when you get a phone call that they want to partner with Treasure.
Right.
The hospital
Right.
wanted to partner with Treasure. And so the teddy bear clinic was where each child that came into that event got one of Treasure's love bears and was able to go to different stations. So they kind of mimicked what would take place at a clinic or at the hospital. They had the teddy bear got shots, had their blood pressure checked, temperature checked, x-rays done. So it helped relieve the anxiety for the children that some of them have to go through that process often.
Right, by taking their teddy bear.
And
seeing where their teddy bear goes through.
Yes. So it was fun. So it was an honor for Treasure to host that part of the clinic.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk more about Treasure's Love Bears and how you can get involved and how you can help this wonderful mission expand. We'll be right back.
In a world obsessed with throwing shade and putting others down, there's a college boldly committed to doing the exact opposite. A college that understands you are not defined by your yesterdays, where dreams are rekindled and hope restored. A place of new beginnings, transformation, and honor. Where a Christian liberal arts education is more than a piece of paper. It's where you start your story all over again. Start your story and discover the new Lane College.
You depend on your tires. Let R&R Tire Express keep you on the road and safe with a complete set of new tires from the brands you trust, starting as low as $16 per week with our pay-as-you-go program. Choose easy payment options, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and at R&R, complete installation with lifetime rotating balance, flat repair, and 12 months 24-hour roadside assistance is absolutely free. Only at R&R Tire Express.
As a former NFL football player, I never thought I would let this happen to me. I didn't feel good, I didn't have any energy, and with my family's history of heart disease and diabetes, I knew I had to do something. VIP Weight Loss helped me get a hold of it before it got a hold of me.
At VIP Weight Loss, we'll develop a program designed specifically for you and your body type.
I'm in the best shape of my life. Thanks to VIP's weight loss and testosterone programs, I feel better, I look better, and live a healthier life.
Welcome back to Hub City Now. I'm your host, Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., and we've been speaking with Tierra Thaxton with Treasure's Love Bears, and you've heard the miraculous story of Treasure Thaxton, and you've heard about the wonderful mission of Treasure's Love Bears, and now we're going to talk about some incredible people who partnered up with Treasure Love Bears, the West Tennessee Health Foundation, who are been instrumental in helping Treasure Love Bears this past year. Is that correct?
It's been about a year, almost a year and a half.
Okay. And what exactly have they helped you all do as far as with the mission and distributing the bears at the hospital?
Well, Treasures Love Bear is a fund of West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation.
Okay.
So they manage our funds for us. Okay. And all the donations are given through them, and then we're able to buy the teddy bears that Treasure gives to the different patients in the hospital.
Okay. And how has that been for you all? Because you said you all were doing it by yourselves at first, with schools donating to you all. How does it feel now to have such a big entity helping you all out?
Oh, it is a blessing. We're so thankful for Frank McMean and his staff that help us, and because they are a tax deductible entity that allows us and people to give to us to have tax deductions on their taxes. So it is definitely a blessing and an honor to be a part of the West Tennessee Healthcare Foundation.
Right. Did you all hear that? That means if you give, you're going to get your taxes, you're going to get deductibles, and you're going to give a bear to a little kid that needs it. Please, please.
Yes.
You need to give a bear. Give a bear. But why is it so important for you to I mean, I know your daughter got healed. People donated to, gave bears to your daughter while she was in the hospital. Some people say thank you and just walk away and not do what you all are doing. What do you get from it? Why do you keep doing it?
When you have a purpose and a heart of service, it gives you that drive to touch more lives. And the teddy bear is the easiest friend that anybody can receive. Right. And so it's the passion that comes when you see a child who's very sick smile because someone remembered them in the hospital. Right. It gives you a heart to just keep pressing forward. And we can only give these bears through the generous donations from everyday people. And so we're very thankful that the Lord puts it on people's hearts to give, especially to new nonprofits like Treasures Love Bears. Right. And anybody can see where our funds are going. And we just buy teddy bears and bags, cute bags for them to go in so that those children can have a keepsake when they leave the hospital.
Okay. And hey, Treasures Love Bears aren't just for sick kids either.
That's right.
They also have a way for you to get your own teddy bear, T-shirt, and other things. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. To help us continue to buy teddy bears, we have T-shirts that are only $15, and they help. Every T-shirt helps us buy a bear and a bag for a kid. Okay. And so that's why we're really pushing our T-shirts, and they're cute. They have a big heart on them, and now we're getting them in different colors, so that's really special. Red and white is our main color, and so last year this year for Star Wars night, we added blue and white. Okay. So we're growing and then expanding, so it's really awesome.
So you might be able to get your Treasure Love Bear T-shirt in the color that you love.
That's right.
There are many ways to give or contact Ms. Thaxton and partner up with Treasure Love Bears. If you want to give a tax-deductible gift to Treasure Love Bears, you can go online right now to WTHfoundation.org. That's WTHfoundation.org to make a tax-deductible gift to TLB, to Treasure Love Bears. Or you can mail a check to the West Tennessee Health Foundation, care of Treasures Love Bears at 620 Skyline Drive, Jackson, Tennessee 38301. And any other correspondence, if you want to team up with them, host them for a night to raise funds for some teddy bears, you can contact Treasure Love Bears at P.O. Box 50, Henderson, Tennessee 38340. Or you can also contact Ms. Thaxton on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Treasures Love Bears, and you'll be directed right to the page. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience about this organization and why they should give?
Yeah, please consider Treasures Love Bears. We appreciate no donation is too small. And of course, no donation is too great. Our goal is to expand and move to some other hospitals. And we'd love to be at 4 hospitals by next year. Okay. And that's Jackson General, Labana Children's Hospital, St. Jude, and Vanderbilt during Valentine's Day. So our goal is to raise a few $1,000s. We kind of estimate $2,000 per hospital. Okay. So if we can raise it, almost $10,000, we can continue to touch the lives of a lot of children and their family members. Because when we go in those rooms and they have siblings, we have to give them a teddy bear. Because everybody wants a teddy bear. And we can only do that through generous people like you who have a heart for children and want to give back. And for our Diamond sponsors, we will put your logo on our bags that we give to the children. So all the children, if you want your business to be a part, we have cute bags that your logos will go on it, and you just never know how their parents or guardians may use your business in return for being a sponsor for Treasures Love Bears.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to use this little guy to say thank you to our sponsors today. We have, I want to thank Baskerville Funeral Home, R&R Tires Express and Custom Wheels, Styles Menswear, and the City of Brownsville. And hey, Treasures Love Bears. Support. Thank you all for joining the show today, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Thank you.